All right. Welcome back to the old newbies lair, where we talk about VR in a business sense. So first off, I gotta say thank you to my first two subscribers. Yay! Mr. Jim McGuire and Marcellus Wilson. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to the channel. I never would have thought that I would have gotten to this point. One of the reasons why I actually started this whole channel was I'd done a lot of posting in the comment section of YouTube videos and Reddit posts, and I would put in my perspective of about VR and the business market based on my personal experience in the business sector. And to be honest, a lot of my comments would be voted down because the VR community is primarily right now composed of gamers, because that's how the VR market got its start, in the gaming community. And so they're not quite ready to have that discussion yet on VR for business. But based on my experience and what I see in the potential for VR is, I mean, it's clear as day to me that that is the direction that VR is going and what it's going to evolve into. Its next step is moving into business. So that's why I'm here, and thank you for subscribing and understanding and coming along on this journey with me. So along those lines, what I'm going to do today for this particular video is we're going to look at a few articles that are out there and that just kind of substantiate what I've been saying here about VR moving into business. So the first thing we're going to do is get us queued up here for VR and hook up a special monitor so you guys can see my desktop through my eyes. So we're going to go into first person so you can see what I'm seeing with these particular articles. And that's one of the great things that's about VR is the options are limitless when you're dealing with things virtually. So we're going to queue up my virtual screen here. I'm going to move over into Explorer, and here we go in 3, 2, 1. Okay, now you're inside my head. You can see what I'm seeing. Okay, and so this is my computer desktop screen. You can see it's a huge monitor here in VR. It could be any size I want it to, but I've got it ballooned up so we can look at this article here. So first we're going to start off in Reddit, because this is basically the genesis of this particular video. And in the subreddit called Virtual Reality, there was a post about with this article, that title that you're seeing right here, VR headsets are dying a lonely death. And it's got 2,400 upvotes, and at this time it's got about 300 comments. And when this post dropped, the comment section just kind of blew up, and people were commenting about it. Now, remember what I said previously, that the VR community right now is primarily gamers. So when they see things like this, they just go ballistic. VR headsets are dying. No, they're not. I was using VR the other day. And unfortunately, that's the hard truth. VR, at least in the gaming sense, has begun to stagnate. VR has kind of hit a plateau, and at least in the gaming sense, because of what I explained in previous videos, how I believe VR is currently in a catch-22, where the user base is not expanding. People came on the scenes with VR, they purchased VR, and there was an initial investment from developers to kind of get software and applications out to VR, and the gaming community got those. But more people were not buying VR headsets. And so the developers stopped investing, because developers, the whole point of developing a VR application is to have revenue from that. And that initially they weren't seeing return on their investment into VR because there were just, the user base is not there to buy the applications. And then on the flip side of that, people aren't buying more headsets because there aren't more applications for them to use. Right now, the VR market, there's a lot of indie developers who don't have a lot to invest, so it's all on the upside for them. But as far as the big developers and the AAA titles, they aren't coming out because because applications to develop are, in the millions, getting close to billions to develop, and they're just not going to get a return on the investment because the user base isn't there. So they're just kind of stuck in this loop of stagnation where the market is not going to expand except for business. So let's find another article. So it's very interesting. This particular article that the Reddit poster used actually came from Forbes. And as we know, Forbes is actually a business journalist and a business publication that covers things from the business perspective. And so they did this article that was posted over on Reddit, or taken from Reddit, or that was used by Reddit. And as you can see here, what they're talking about in this article comes from the figures from the Steam gaming service. So Steam is a e-tailer that sells digital copies of games. It is probably the premier way that PC gamers get their games, through this e-tailer service. You go there, you buy the games, and you can download them digitally. They're not using any type of physical media. It's all digital. And so in this particular service, they're able to parse all of the people that have Steam accounts and see what type of hardware that they have. So they gathered the figures from the Steam hardware listing, looking for VR headsets. And so based on the figures in the Steam service, they were able to see that the hardware, VR hardware, had started to plateau and started to decline. You can see here, the connected headsets never peaked above 1.5%, and only 4% of the Steam users, people that have PCs, access for VR. So that's where they got their information. There's another article here that I have linked, and it's from UploadVR, and using the same Steam VR data, you can see here they have a list of the headsets that are people that utilize the Steam gaming service. These are the headsets that they have and the percentages of the headset ownership. So if we slide down here, this is the graph that I want to focus on. So this is in the last 12 months. This particular article was posted in 2019, the end of 2019. So we might as well just say 2020. And so for the last 12 months. So over the last 12 months, over 2019 and into 2020, you can see here the Steam ownership of a VR headset increased until it got to the end of 2019. And then we saw a decline, or at least I'll call it a plateau. It started to not increase anymore, I guess it's fair to say, at the end of 2019 going into 2020. So just based on this data, and now you got to remember, Steam is only a slice of the market. It's not representative of the full VR market, but a good percentage of the gaming market. Because if you're a gamer, and you're particularly a VR gamer, you're going to get your VR gaming content from Steam, unless you have an Oculus. Oculus has their own store, but the games are interchangeable. And so I would say a good chunk of people that VR game have a Steam account. So not fully representative of the market, but a good chunk of the VR gaming market is here. So again, the key factor here is this is applicable to the gaming market, not the business market. So if we want to talk about the business market, let's go over to this particular video, And this video here is a video that I was going to do on this channel, on this particular video that I'm doing right now, but I think I'm going to save it for another stream. But as you see here, this is a post video from the Wall Street Journal. And again, the Wall Street Journal, another business publication, and they're looking at enterprise VR. So not gaming, but enterprise VR. And they've got their statistics here starting from 2018 and having a 3-year projection out into 2021 all the way out to 2023. And as you can see here from their data, 829 million invested into enterprise VR in 2018, and you can see here the increase. 2019 they crossed the $1 billion mark, and in 2020 rapidly approaching $2 billion, and then projected out 2021, 2022, and 2023, 3 years out projection, increasing up until 4.26 billion by 2023, based on statistical analysis and the increase here. So that's huge. That's huge. Remember, in the gaming market, we saw stagnation at the end of 2019 going into 2020. But on the enterprise side, we have increase into the $4.26 billion investment and projected revenue for VR and AR in the business enterprise. So as you can see, that's huge. And it gives justification to my perspective of what's happening in the VR market. It's moving to business. We have the hard numbers on what's happening with gaming, the plateau and the catch-22 that I talk about. But contrast to that, we have business on an upward incline, increasing and projected to continue to increase in business application with revenue into the $4 billion. So again, you got to pay attention. You got to understand what's happening in the market, and you have to understand what's necessary for the market. Again, it's a tough pill to swallow. The gaming market it's in this catch-22. It's stagnating, it's plateauing because of that investment risk. Developers don't want to risk investment. Users are not going to buy unless they see the applications. But in the business, it's just beginning. They're just beginning to realize what the potential is for VR and the application of VR in the business market. So I feel justified. And so I'm going to keep at it. I'm going to keep, sounding the alarm about what's happening in the VR market and its move to business and the investment that's happening there. And the thing about it is, it's not adversarial. What's going to happen is the user base is going to expand. And then on the back end, there's going to be more investment in the VR market, and it's going to translate over to gaming as well. But the next evolution has to be business. That's where we're going to see the investment. That's how the VR market's going to grow. And then hopefully, I predict, I think, not just hopefully, I predict that on the back end, the gaming market's going to grow as well when they see that all of that revenue potential that we're seeing in business and what's projected to happen in business is going to happen in the gaming market too. But for right now, it's all about business. All right, thanks for checking out the stream. We're going to end it right there, and we are going to go ahead and close down the stream. We're going to close down our monitor here, cue the music, and get ready to play me out of here.